So I'm not sure whether I said, but in part 1, this is part 2 and hi again. The reason I'm doing this is actually twofold: to give you a setup from scratch, as it were, and also to show you what I do when I've been away from the charts doing other stuff. So I want to clear it all down, clarify things in my mind, and zone in, as it were. So we're on the daily charts. We've drawn most of the levels that will affect the price currently. We've ascertained we've got a reversal right up here, and we've not quite got a reversal on the weekly. Just double check that. Yeah, a weekly reversal would be way down here, but I think for the sake of getting trades in the short term, all you have to worry about really is breaks of support, and we could use this high, low, lower, high, lower, low. Close below there on this weekly would, for me, give us a chance, providing this hadn't been tested already, or even this where this gap was. We've got room to the downside, and providing these are red on the weekly and so on and so forth, then it's fairly safe to assume that this is pulling back. And if I was a Fibonacci man, then I'd have my fibs on here to here and see what was going on. But I'm not a Fibonacci man currently. Done it, been there, got the t-shirt, didn't like it. So the fact that this is red telling us that this is and dropping, as it were, is telling us this is bearish. Nothing else to see on the weekly. Daily, well, we can clearly see we've when we break this low, we have a valid downtrend, but it hasn't broken yet. If this closes below here, then we've definitely broken the candlestick trend: low, high, high, low, high, high. All the business, the song, and then the close below there, and then expect a pullback north. H4. Now we're getting into the current potential trading possibilities. It's very late in the day. Normally when you've got a big long trend, candlestick trend if you like, or swing, then what are we, 198, 246, there is a good chance this will reverse now. We're on the H4 in my opinion, so I would be looking for longs. We've hit that's the current weekly low, I think. Well, we can tell by the date, 5th of the 4th, yeah. So what do we do, 7th, 6th, oh that's last week's low. So nothing to see here. Let's zoom out a bit. My dog is starting again, hang on. Let me pause this and sort the dog out. Back. Sorry about that. In fact, I just had my tea while you were paused. Delicious. So, and I wasn't in any hurry to bother with this chart, because we're on H4. We're staging a potential pullback. I would like to consider trading this long for an evening trade, little scalp of some sort. So how will I do that? Right, well, the 4 hours just started, so I'm not going to get much information from that at all, apart from the fact that it's turned green and it's overextended. So we can draw a couple of levels on here. Really and truthfully, just over on the left hand side, we've already got a support there. Let's just draw it on that candle there, the green one. If price is reversing, it's going to reverse, have a problem with that level there, and yeah, it looks like that one was the green level we've got in there. Then here too, but that's a hell of a distance. So there is nothing really in the way of price apart from the low of that candle there. So and we're through that. So if we're through it and closed on a lower time frame, then we're potentially good to go for a little bit higher. Zoom in on this, see what that's telling us. Well, it tried to reverse earlier here on this H1 chart. High, low, lower, high, lower, low. Low, high, higher, low, higher, high, and it tested resistance up there. We can put that on, but failed to close above it. Didn't quite test it, but it's gone into this congestion zone here, this flip zone. All these support then turn to potentially act as resistance, and we can clearly see actually a flip zone here on an hourly chart. Pushed up, pushed down, crossed over, pushed up, potentially pushed down as well. What's this telling us? Potential divergence forming on this indicator here. We'll have a look at the lower time frame. Nothing else really. I'm looking for longs, definitely not trying to go short. You can see it's actually trying to attack the H18 EMA. Here we have a potential reversal scenario. High, low, lower, high, lower, low. Lower, high, lower, low. I know it's not a lower high, but that's the song, and it doesn't matter actually. But the lower time frames will tell you exactly what's happened here. So in fact, high, low, lower, high, lower, low. It's the two green candles, because that green candle broke that one. So technically that's the last candle to create the swing song, if you like, the trend. So M30, we should really put on that one there, and it's struggling to close through that now, but we can't trade straight into that high. I wouldn't really want to. And then above that we've got this support, which will potentially act as resistance and will potentially attract the price as well. So M15, that's interesting. Is that a double bottom? Low 513, 9513, low 9517. So this is the high, the low, the lower high, the lower low. That's the resistance we need to break. It's trying to do that now. Look at that also. We want a break of the 20 really to consider going long. Didn't break the 20 there and failed to do anything. Let's have a look at this on zoomed out a bit. So we've failed to break this low as well, so we're actually technically high, low, lower, high. Long way to go to make a higher high. Nothing else we can really talk about there. Nice gap from here. Should it break, pull back, continue. So pip wise to the green line, 13 pips. If I can get 5 pips in there, I'll go for it. Now all we need really is for this to break through the 20. Let's have a look at the candlestick formations. That's the last low, high, low. Forget these really. All we're worried about is the low there. Or we could go high, low, lower, high, lower, low. Which would mean, as we said before, if we break these M30 or M15, M30 highs rather, not M15. Why didn't I put one on M15? Oh, because the M30's higher time frames always take precedence. So this could be a perfect little setup here. little pullback. The reason being, potentially, we've broken, and we actually closed above this level by the looks of it. M30 high is 139749, and yeah, we did, because that opened higher, so that takes precedence as well. So a little pullback to check old resistance acts as new support because of the break, which I always talk about. So we could go back. We don't want this to reverse on the 5 minutes, so low, high, higher, low, higher, high. So we would put a support on here. If this came down and broke through there, we've trended down. High, low, lower high, lower low, and close. Then we have to do that all over again to the long side before it becomes a valid potential long trade. So 1 minute. Now you could consider trading the break of the 1 minute candle there. That's where I'd enter this trade. I'm not going to bother now because I haven't properly assessed this, been distracted and making the video for you, but I wouldn't. That would be a consideration for a trade there. We've had the pullback. Oh, we would have to double check the histogram, make sure it wasn't red. It isn't. So, you know, the obvious area of the target area doesn't have to be support. It could be this support here, and if I had room to that support level, the low of that green candle, to make a few pips, because remember that could be up here somewhere, the low could be here, which would coincide with that, then I would target that. As it is, there's too much mess here now. Green, I'll put that on there. The reason I call this support hopefully is quite obvious now. It's because it is a low of a green candle. It's forced low, high, higher, low, higher, high. It's forced the price above the previous candle's high, so it represents something that has created a level of support. See what happens on this now. I'll pause it and we'll watch. I'll come back after it's all done. So I'm back again now, and as you can see, it hit that price there. The first one would have been a nice little scalp for a couple of pips, and then it broke through there. You got the 15-minute chart here. That's the 15-minute break and close above that 5-minute support area there, and the 15-minute or the 30-minute high there. So we've broken a resistance level. It looks like it's going to come back and test that resistance level now. More importantly, it hit my M30 low, the support level I put in there, the low of that candle, to the pip again. You know, are you telling me this isn't? This is just coincidence? I sat there, I've done the analysis, I've drawn the levels, and the price reacts to those levels. You know, what else can I say? That 5-minute low there was that candle there. It smacked it, came back, and then went on and hit that level there. It does what I say it does on the tin, as it were, you know. And not only that, we've got divergence here as well. I only noticed that after the event. But if I'm going to trade with real money, then I would be all over this like a rash. But as I say, this isn't a proper real money analysis, as it were. It's just a question of making a video for you guys. So if I targeted that arbitrary MA there, the hourly 8 EMA, which is 96 on the 5-minute, then I would have had to suffer a ton of drawdown. Instead, if I'd gone for my levels, could have had a couple of pips there as a scalper, and could have had clean 5 pips there with a 1.5 pip spread, or say a couple of pips spread, and there you go. There's nothing to say it won't carry on up now, because this divergence is it doesn't happen for for no reason, as it were. There is definitely buying sentiment in the market now. Oops. Because we've had a massive, great big move to the downside. It's not rocket science, but the beauty about my stuff is it gives you the edge. No divergence here, funnily enough, but definitely a reversal. But I wasn't near the charts anyway throughout that move there. But and this looks like now it will continue on up to. Notice it cuts short again. I say this many times. If you're going for a level, always just cut it a little bit short, because for whatever reason, don't know whether it's the high frequency trading algorithms or what, but it seems to stop short, and then they'll have another go at it. And then what have we got here? We've got the M30 low, but where's the critical resistance levels? M30 high is that one there. We've closed above it, so we expected a slight pullback anyway on the 30. So there's the downtrend: high, low, lower, high, lower, low, low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, and close. So this now should potentially continue up to the H1 high, because we know it's got to get through the levels as it goes. So the H1 high, high, low, lower, high, lower, low. The H1 high of the downtrend is up there. So guys, never trade any of my analysis. Do your own analysis. This is just for educational purposes only, but it'd be interesting to see whether this does actually go up there, and test it and try to break it. But this flip zone area here would be the first area of a problem, and you know the reasons why. Something's pushed the price up, it's pulled back, pushed the price up again, and it pulled back. So that one there, I might make a part 3 just as a conclusion to all of this. So there you go guys, how to assess your charts after you've had a break for whatever reason, and how to find a trade at the end of the day. Thanks for watching, have a good evening.